second. Channel.
Were we doing
Yeah.
the gala first or the dragon?
Oh,
Gala.
right! The gala! I forgot about that too. But yeah, no, that's fine. I just gotta pull up that map because I had that fairly set up. 1 second. But anyway,
Okay.
while I do that, can I get a recap, please?
All I wrote down was plan, kill and infiltrate group of guards.
Right!
We were
Because
gonna kill one of them in the middle of the night, replace him, kill his nephew in broad daylight, pin it on the broken oath so that it didn't get traced back to me in any way, and then we were going to pretend to be them on the way to the gala to kill the other three.
And it's all
While the
coming
others are in
back
tow
to
as well,
me.
Yeah.
right?
And like everyone else is gonna come with us, but like not with us. And
True
then we're
heroes
gonna
of the realm.
kill everyone else.
Yep. Alright.
They're spies, it's okay.
Yeah. So, give me 1 second. I want to pull up a map now that I remember that plan. I don't think I have like a map of like a house, but we can make do. So that might have to be a bit theater of the mind because maps of homes in D&D are kind of hard because they really only have like a D&D home would just be so small on like a grid space. So they only have like mansions. But anyway, yeah, that is 100% correct. You were going to go after the cleric who is alone and his nephew who you followed and know that he lives semi-alone. Like he lives in sort of like ye old apartment complex. So there is like little studio apartments, but they're all kind of next to one another. So like it's not like if you all he has to do is shout once and the people on either side of the apartments would hear.
Well, yeah, but he's the one we were gonna kill in broad daylight with a darkness spell in
Yeah.
the middle of the street.
And also, as someone who lives in that equivalent apartment, I don't think people would care if we killed them.
That's true. I can't tell you
Yeah.
how many times I've heard like gunshots on my street. I'm like, someone will call the cops.
What are you gonna do?
I woke up this morning 2 gunshots. Don't worry. Like
That's fine.
that's how it is.
Yup. Cool. So what?
Just the cool.
Listen, I live in Southern California.
Whatever.
Is that a gunshot or a firecracker?
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact,
Or
one of
both.
them's illegal.
I live
Hello,
on the
Captain
cusp
Ace.
between.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, sorry.
Hi, Morgan. I live on the cusp between like suburban country and like in Missouri, and so like it's really hard to tell if the gunshots are legal or not because people hunt in the area. So just ignore it. Hope it's just a country bumpkin.
All right.
Okay.
So, murder. Who is going after our good old cleric friend, Draco?
Figured we'd all go.
Harry,
unless someone
maybe?
wants to sit this one out.
Oh, this poor man.
We're just gonna go jump him. It'll be fine.
This poor man.
Really
Once
outnumbered.
He
again.
is betraying them to the Empire.
You're gonna do them dirty.
You gonna do him dirty like that, they old.
Mm-hmm. So,
Okay.
I'm going to need stealth checks from the party. Because there are city guard. It's not like it's not like there's a curfew. But it's kind of making sure that you're not seen in the area where you could be implicated.
I would simply like to celebrate that I got a natural 20.
Yay! What a way to start the session.
Nice. I rolled a 5. That's a 12.
That would be a 10.
Me too.
24.
Oh my god.
I would use disguise self before we get into the general area because it
To
lasts
be
for an hour,
Tom Hanks.
and I super don't want to be recognized. I am my grandfather, Tom Hanks, but that is a 7. because I rolled a 2.
How about Mask of Many Faces as a just a normal looking.
What about
human?
Tom Selleck? We got
Got
Tom
it,
Hanks
Liam
and Tom
Neeson.
Selleck.
Oh, okay, Tom Selleck.
We're all Toms.
Yeah, that'll be your alt amigos. I tried to say
Boo.
alter egos, but it sounded more like your alt amigos. Like your.
I mean, technically they are.
Anyway, you're stopped once by a city guard who just asks where you're going, but and kind of what you're up to at this hour of night. But you're not actually like they don't suspect anything of you. You're just like, yeah, we're going for a stroll. You know, it's a nice evening. You know, you don't raise any alarms, but you know that you have been seen. Some of you in disguises, some of you not, in this area. And you make your way to Draco's house. Once again, as a reminder, there is a nice front garden that the two people who stealthed their way over was able to sort of sit down in. There is a living room and kitchen on the first floor, and then you imagine that there's stairs that go up to a loft on the second floor, but it's not like a full second floor. The stairs go up in this direction towards the door, so you're not able to look into the window and see where he's sleeping. Where he's sleeping would be like against the wall that you would be in at the front door, but above.
Is there a window into that room?
No, there's only windows. It's not fire safety compliant because
I was
there's-
gonna say.
I was gonna be like, oh,
I mean it's
what if
essentially
we just burn the house down?
I mean, well, here's the thing. Like, you start burning the house, he'll just jump down the stairs and go out the front door or the window. Like, it's not like a closed room. Like, if I hold on, let me pull up file new. Actually, I'll try and describe it. Like, it's almost like the entire house is one room, but there's a very small, like a half wall dividing the living room / dining room and the kitchen. And then in the living room area, there's a short staircase that goes up to the, you know, like kind of essentially the loft, which is a half second floor. And you could just dangle your feet off the loft and hop down into the living room. Or you could just take the stairs. It's like a room bunk bed.
This is uncannily like a guy that I went out with once.
I'm actually basing it off of one of my friend's old apartments.
Okay, so who's gonna unlock the door for us?
The thief?
Who's gonna get us in?
The thief?
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, I nominate the thief as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Sounds good.
What do I need to roll, Casey?
You need to roll a Thieves' Tools check, so it'll be sleight of hand with proficiency. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
So sorry.
Don't be sorry.
17 to unlock the door.
You hear a satisfying click.
He's going to open up the door just a little bit and peek in.
You do. What's your passive perception?
14.
1 second. You hear a shifting, upstairs. Very subtle.
Okay. He is going to slowly close the door and let the party know in whispers that he's probably upstairs. And then I guess what's the game plan? What are we doing?
Mask of Many Faces into his nephew.
That's messed up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. I like where this is going. Please continue. What are we doing after you've masked? Or are you just gonna stab him while
I'm
being his
going
nephew?
to walk up to the door and in the same voice, I'm going to say, Uncle?
Oh my god.
Cold-blooded. My God. Dad backs away and like slinks into the shadows, nearby, so you know he could
Yeah.
stab.
So,
But he's gonna let that play through.
yeah. There is,
Could I say
give
that
me a
I'm like
minute.
on one side of the door, just like prepared to like ambush if necessary,
Yeah.
like on the
I
other
will
side?
also be prepared to ambush.
Well, here's the thing. Like, he can open the door, but all he has to do is, like, to see all of you if you
Oh,
want to ambush. So, like, one of you can chill, but if it's all of you, it'll make it very difficult for you all to hide. There's literally a half wall, like the fence that you could sit behind, crouch behind, that's like 5 feet away. So if you want to do that, you can be pretty much imperceptible by him.
I will be hiding behind the
Are
wall.
we doing anything after, like today, after this guy's house?
we're going to sleep.
I figured
Going
if
to
he
prison.
died fast enough, we could kill the paladin too, but I don't know what our spell slots are gonna be like.
If we kill 3 of them, that's going to look bad.
Also,
Okay.
bear in mind, you might get, depending on how long it takes to get the both of them, you might get a level of exhaustion if you're not able to have enough time to sleep and get to the nephew's house in time.
Okay, so we don't really have any plans. I'm gonna step into the ethereal plane and step into his house via a wall.
Perfect.
I love that.
So I
Is
can be
that
behind him.
Blink or something different?
It's a let me get it's a class ability for my subclass.
Sounds good. But we'll resolve about a minute later. You hear the door open, and Draco is on the other side, rubbing his face a little. He's dressed, but hastily so. Oh, kiddo.
I'm so sorry.
What did you Did you have someone else come with you? It sounded like you were.
Yes,
having
my friend. He just went around the corner. We have to have a discussion. May I come in?
Roll me a deception check.
$14.
Sounds good. That's a number.
Yep.
And he'll step aside, and we'll close the door very quickly after you enter. What's going on?
Wait. I need to remember names. Give me a second.
Uh-huh.
Aster found out a problem with our next gig.
What's the problem?
Thane is just trying to think really quick. Give me this is a lot quicker, but this is me trying to think, and it's not going.
I'm just
well.
watching the hamster on the wheel.
Oh yeah,
suddenly
exactly.
panic.
I'm no. Thane is a very good bullshitter. I am not. So with the gala, we've been found out.
How? By who?
You know exactly who.
Oh my god, that is so good. Roll me a deception check with advantage.
Okay. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh wait, no, that was a 16. I thought that was a 6. Okay, so I got 22
I don't know.
and a
about
17.
you.
22.
Nice. He frustratedly rubs a hand over his face, and goes, "I knew we shouldn't have trusted that elf. What does he
No
say we're
shit.
supposed to do?"
No shit, Sherlock. We have to figure out something.
Shouldn't Aster figure it out? What's his plan?
All he told me was to come tell you this.
And then what? Are we still going to the gala tomorrow?
I have no idea. And that's when I'm going to lean against the door and just, like, listen and see where my friends are.
Which friend was it with you?
I don't know if you would know him. I met him at the bar the other day.
Why would he, come with you at this hour?
Because we were at the bar and then Aster found me.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Such a good lie. So good.
I'm
so
coming
proud
around
of
up
you.
behind him. Stealthily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Right.
going to say...
Oh, God.
I'm going to grab by the shoulder and say, if we have to, we might have to leave now.
And as you do that, can you describe to me, because I'm not that I don't trust you, I also think it's good for people watching to know how Blood Hunter works. So can you describe the subclass thing?
Okay, so the subclass thing is, let me find the actual. So it's my subclass, Blood Hunter, Order of the Ghost Slayer. It's Ethereal Step, which is upon reaching the 7th level. At the start of your turn, if you aren't incapacitated, you can choose to magically step into the veil between the planes. You can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, as well as see and affect creatures and objects on the ethereal plane. This only lasts a number of rounds equal to my intelligence modifier, but I figured it was long enough for me to get into the house and then move up behind him.
Yeah.
So
like, imagine Thane does the subtle lean and knock on the door. You pop in behind him.
Yeah, and he would kind of see Robert just almost coalesce from shadow into being behind this man again. And he has his sword up and ready to start stabbing, should stabbing needs arise.
All right.
Wait, I want to get a little bit more information out of this guy.
You already had it happen.
Yeah.
Well, he's just
and
behind him.
My shoulder. I'm gonna have my hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna do the laugh.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The form is gonna start to shimmer, and there's just the mask is gonna be right in his face, and I'm gonna punch him right in the gut and stunning strike him.
Well, we're gonna do initiative at this point. You two will get a surprise round.
Perfect.
I would have gone back up to the door once they shut it behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Because.
Well, essentially, all of you are like 5 to 10 feet away. So, what was I gonna say? I don't think that movement's going to be a problem, but there's currently a block in front of the door. Excuse me, blockage in front of the door. 1 second. His is okay. Thane.
21.
Okay. Robbie.
18.
Dad.
16.
Flax.
22.
I don't know about you.
You.
Avery.
19.
Jesus fucking Christ, you all.
Yeah.
We're bloodthirsty.
We have stepped on the gas.
Yeah, Archimedes.
14.
Okay, 1 second. And Tide.
12.
Okay. Now, unless you were able to hear, unless the people inside make a shout, you guys outside don't know that a fight's about to break down. Or rather, you don't know that it's starting exactly now. So, we're going to say that you're not part of the surprise round, but you're able to sort of guesstimate because Robert just left. So you're able to sort of intuit that. So it's just going to be Thane and Robert in the surprise round. So Thane, give me that attack roll.
Yeah, the form shimmers into just the Broken Oath's mask right in front of his face.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make a unarmed strike because I didn't pull out the sword.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Stunning strike, please.
1 second. Plus his con.
Ooh,
That'll
max
be
damage.
a dirty 20 to save, but what's that damage?
That's saved. 10.
Nice.
And then can I get one more like quick elbow in as
Yeah.
well?
I mean, you get a
Oh,
full
perfect.
round of
Oh,
attacks.
I get a whole round?
Yeah.
Oh, then I should have bonus actioned cursed him.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well now he's cursed. Okay. And now I'm going to attack him again.
A curse on his
Hiya.
house.
17.
That will hit.
Stunning strike again.
It's a natural 20.
Yup, he saves. And that was did I not roll damage? I did not roll damage. I'm dumb.
You're the himbo. It's okay. We love you for it.
10.
Nice.
Another 10. Another max.
Beautiful.
And my bonus action's already done. Yeah, that's it.
Sounds good. Do you move to? We'll say you move to the side, so that people can start filtering in. So like, instead of being directly in front of him, you are just off, one over.
We try to bust in, but he's just blocking the door.
Pretty much.
All
Sorry.
he do is run into the wall.
Robert, it is now your turn.
Hello. So I'm just going to hit him with my brand of castigation. Requires no action, has no roll. He is branded, so I will always know the direction to the branded creature, and each time he deals damage to me or a creature I can see within 5 feet of me, he will suffer psychic damage equal to my intelligence modifier.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to draw my sword, run it against my the top of my arm, and it's going to ignite.
Jesus Christ. I never
one of those
want
hits.
to be on the I mean, I'm always on the opposite side of a fight with you, but I never want to be.
One of those hits is a natural 20.
Nice.
The other hit is, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to hit a 14.
It will not.
It will not, okay.
You would have noticed that he put on chainmail.
I didn't know that.
He did not put on his full plate.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Okay. But he's going to get the nat 20 of damage.
Nice. Also, my headache is gone, but I have the sniffles, so I apologize for the sniffliness. And I probably will have to leave several times to blow my nose.
How dare you be a human being affected by the weather and the seasons changing?
Yup.
How dare.
What's that damage?
15 points of piercing.
Uh-huh.
And 11 points of fire damage.
Jesus Christ. 1 second. So that is cool. He's not looking good. He's almost bloodied with that, but pretty fucked up. Then that brings us to the top. Flax. You hear the sounds of a shout and swearing from your target from behind the door. What do you do?
I'm very excited. He's gonna bust in and just unarmed strike, just kick him straight in the chest.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And I love it because you're this little gnome dude and this guy, like, he's a human. So I imagine you kick in the door and you kind of, like, launch yourself off, like, the doorknob and with, like, sort of like a high kick roundhouse.
Yeah.
Still could barely reach his chest, though.
Uh-huh.
It might end up being like a kick to the balls instead.
Oh my god. Let's be real. Attacking this man in his own home is a kick to the balls, regardless.
Then we'll kick him in the balls again.
I was dressed up as his nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a. I feel.
True heroes.
Yeah,
we're the heroes of this story.
That's an 18.
That will hit.
And then damage is 5.
Beautiful. And you get 2 attacks.
Yeah, and then he's gonna pull out one of the hand axes.
He's bloodied now, by the way.
Yeah. And then do a fun little spin. And that's that's 15.
That will unfortunately not hit. So you're able to give him a good kick, and it kind of takes the wind out of him. But when you try and actually carve into him, the chainmail is able to withstand the hit of your hand axe. Anything else?
Did
Nope.
you add your
She's gonna
strength?
get out
Did
of
you
the way.
add your strength to that attack? Or no? I was looking
Yeah.
at yeah. I was looking at D&D Beyond. It just said, yeah.
And I was
Uh,
like, some
An unarmed
seven-
strike is 1 plus your strength mod. So if it was 5, that sounds right.
Mhm.
So then it would have been 15 plus 4, so then it would have been 19.
Oh, you're talking about for your
That
Got it. So yeah, no, that would hit then.
Okay. It's like that number looks low. Let's see. So then 4, and that would be 8.
Nice. So, as you are all starting to wail on him, he realizes that he is not long for this world. And Archimedes and I guess also Avery, being the main spellcasters of the group who have seen this spell before, you watch him kind of pull out from his pocket a copper wire that he starts. It's not his turn yet, but you see him starting to cast a spell, perhaps to warn someone with sending.
Is he casting the spell?
Not yet, but you know that that's what
Okay.
he's going to do, and you need to take him out before he does that. Thane, it is your turn.
Unarmed strike. Hiya. Natural 20.
Hey, good job. Are you gonna stun him?
Stunning strike.
Does a 16 save?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Sadly, but yes. I am rolling such
Is that another
good
10?
damage. I get an extra dice because of
Curse.
what's it? Yeah, because of the crit, right? Or no? How do you? I forget how you do crit rolls. I'm sorry.
I do it like 4E rules. So what's your unarmed strike dice?
1d6 right now.
So you just assume that you rolled max on that d6. So you're just gonna roll
Okay.
another d6 plus your modifier. So it'll be 6 plus 1d6 plus your mod.
Okay. Okay. So, 15.
Nice. 4, 16.
Stunning strike. So he passes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to attack him again. Hiya.
Sounds good.
17 to hit.
That will hit.
9 points of damage on this one.
Okay, 1 second.
Stunning strike again.
That's a natural 1.
He is stunned.
And
And
he is on death's door.
we're taking a rest after this, right, everyone?
That was the plan.
Okay, Fury of Blows.
Furiously blow him.
Yep, I will. Don't worry. Oh, that's a natural. Oh, that's a 7. That's a 14. Never mind. I can't read.
Are you rolling with advantage because he's stunned?
No, I am not. Now I am. 22 to hit on that one.
I don't know about you. Yeah, that gets him.
Oh, minimum damage 5.
Barely, but still there.
I crit on 19s because of the curse,
Nice.
and I rolled a 19.
Tell me how you do it.
I feel really bad. I don't like. Oh. So 13 points of damage on the last one.
Yep.
Basically, I just go in, and I just want him to be looking me in the eyes and say, "Sorry, just business," and I'm going to hit him right in the heart and just make it stop beating.
Oh my god. Monks, everybody.
Yes. Sorry, I took all the fun away.
And
We have more targets.
But my flaming sword!
Well, yes and no. I mean, there's still stuff to figure out because like there was a small commotion. He was giving a shout. So you imagine that there's going to have to be some quick cleanup work and getting out, which everyone can help with. So I imagine the rest of you just quickly filter in to the house just to figure out what to do immediately, and you're not all standing out like on the front yard like a bunch of chuckle fucks. So you head in, close the door. There is a dead body in front of you. What do you do?
Stuff him in the closet.
Who's turning into them? Do
I
it
will do
now.
so.
Go out front and be like, sorry about that. Yeah.
Dad will use his head of disguise and turn into him. Kind of pokes his head out the door to see if anyone's there.
Now, does disguise self change your clothes as well?
I think so.
Okay. Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
it's the
it creates
changelings
an
that.
illusion. So.
Yep. It's So you
Yeah.
could full on illusion what your what his clothes are. Yeah. So you go outside and there's a couple neighbors that like poke their head out to like figure out what's going on, and you know, oh no, don't worry, sorry, just got scared or heard a noise, whatever.
Was sleepwalking.
Yeah.
I rubbed my face because that's what he. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Retreat back into the house.
All right, party.
I think I shook them.
Okay. We got information.
What information did you get, Thane?
All I know is their deal with an elf. A deal with an elf. That's all I know.
Wow. That's useful
Hey.
information.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
I mean, not really.
Just barely.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm working with some traders on Long Island. They're Italian. That narrows it down.
Yeah, that narrows it down. I
Get what
tried.
kind
I'm
of elf?
sorry. No, all I know is I'm sorry. I tried my best, and then Robbie appeared behind him, and I said, "Well," and we just went.
Don't blame this on Robbie.
I'm not!
Thane.
While they're arguing, I'm just cleaning the house with prestidigitation.
I'm gonna
I'm just
drag
getting rid
him.
of all traces of the fight.
So are we
I'm gonna
robbing this guy too?
No.
Why not?
Is there anything
After.
valuable
Yeah.
around the apartment that we can take?
Yeah, Dad's going to start looking.
Yeah, you murdered the guy who steals stuff too.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Makes
you
more
could-
convincing.
You could give me an
Fair enough.
investigation check.
Oh, definitely take his clothes. We're gonna need his armor.
After they strip this guy, I'm gonna put him in the bathtub like he slipped.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he slipped. Has a bunch of bruises and a weird scar from a sword.
Yeah, it's
Slip-
strange. The
slipped in the
weirdest shit
shower,
happens in
fell
the
into the
bathtub,
sword.
man.
He slipped and fell on a sword.
Should tell you about
times.
this
9
time in college
times.
that Robert just goes.
This is why I have a phobia.
He
19.
ran into my knife. Ran into my knife 10
You're
times.
knives 10
18.
times.
So Flax, what was your investigation as well?
18.
All right. So Flax, you notice mostly what are some things that Flax values?
Any sort of weapon, probably.
All right. So you would notice that he has a mace in his room, right next to his plate mail armor. And you know the plate itself is pretty fucking valuable. Like new, it's 1,500 gold. Used, it's not going to fetch quite as much. But that is something that you would have to have a bag of holding for, which I think that you do, that you could easily stow in there. His mace is a +1 mace. So pretty nice to have in your back pocket. He would also have a... One second, I just have to shift how I'm sitting because I can't sit still. He would also have a +1 great sword.
Ooh.
And it's big. Like,
Can I take the great sword?
you could take both.
I would love both. I'm imagining tiny little Flax with a giant ass sword.
It kind of looks like a Cloud from Final Fantasy VII when you hold it. It's like big on a normal person, but it looks like absurdly big.
It's a Buster sword?
I mean, that's what it looks like when Flax holds it because
I
he's
love
small. Dad, with your investigation, there's not much of value in the house beyond his weapons and armor. that he owned. But you see like a sort of memorial box that's kept in the corner of his room in this sort of like shrine with the drawing of his wife. Inside of that is her jewelry, and you find about 1,500 gold's worth of jewelry. And
I was gonna say
fine
leave
rings
that.
and diamonds and like diamond earrings, and you could tell that like he loved the shit out of her because nothing in this house that he bought for himself has any real value beyond what he needs to use for work, and he probably only spent that much because he needed to for work. But he had like the whole like just spent every ounce of his savings on his late wife.
That is conflicted because it's a memorial, but also the party needs money pretty desperately. He'll take it.
Yep.
He'll be put to good use. She's not using it anymore.
Neither
But he
is
does
he.
leave. Yeah, he does leave the drawing. Yeah.
Sounds good. I take it, but I feel bad about it.
That's pretty much where he's at, yeah.
A single tear as I put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
I love that.
Is there any like spy shit?
You
Yeah,
can give me an
that's what I was
investigation
gonna
check for that. I mean, they went looking for Ludin, so.
21.
Yeah. With a 21, you're able to find a notebook that is very clearly in ciphers. You would have to spend some time decoding it before it's of any use to you. But very quickly, like, I think that Archimedes, you sort of have, like, an eye for having watched Dad operate and see where he, like, looks and pokes around while he's too busy being a fucking crow about shiny things. You're like, all right, let me do what we fucking came for. And you find like a floor, a loose floorboard that leads to a secret compartment. That secret compartment has a false bottom, and that false bottom had like another like secret slidey place, and that's where you find this journal.
Wow, you would think someone as paranoid as this would have been better prepared for assassination attempts.
Well, the funny thing was, no, he actually was, but they did a good job lying because he had the alarm spell on the door, and it wouldn't have been triggered by his nephew, but because Thane made a convincing lie that his friend was the one that opened the door. That's why the alarm would have went off.
I tried to get the elf out of him, but I was like, Robbie's here. Well,
Okay.
we're killing him.
Yep. I'll be right back. I have to blow my nose. But party, you decide what you want to do next.
I'm going to decipher this pitiful code.
Let's
Well,
go
now we have
back
that.
to like an inn first and not decipher it in the dead man's house.
It's our
I think
house
that's
now.
good.
Where are we
idea.
putting the dead
It's
guy?
not our house now. That's not how property.
He's in
I
the
already
bathtub.
put him in the bathtub.
We are
Oh.
here.
Do we need
It
to
is
turn the
ours
water
now.
on first?
No.
I'll turn the water on.
He's
You-
got
we ro-
sword holes in him.
Yeah, we've
We'll put
we've
a
robbed
we'll-
him also.
We can put a knife or something over here and make it look like he just slipped and fell, okay? And put some cheese next to it so it looked like he was cutting some cheese.
We could set his house on fire.
And we can do
No,
that too.
No, this was supposed to be a subtle murder. They're not supposed to find out about this until tomorrow after we've left.
We can set his house on
Fireball.
fire tomorrow. It'll be okay.
We can set it on
And
fire
also-
after we come back from the gala if you really want to set it on fire.
I don't know.
We can set the
Mood
gala on
distracted.
fire for all we can.
Yeah.
After we have a good time. You have to have a good time
also,
first.
who's helping me murder the nephew? Or is that just
You-
me?
Oh,
all
I'm
seem
helping
pretty
because
good.
I'm taking his place. So,
Oh, I thought I was.
I'll also help.
are you taking his place? Right, I was gonna take the paladin's place, but we're not killing the paladin. Never mind.
I'm just here for murder.
But yeah, no, I'll totally help.
Yeah, I need someone to cast
We
darkness.
need to kill him
That's
fast.
what I need.
So,
Mm.
can't you cast darkness?
Yes, but then I won't be able to attack him and stun him.
I
Fair
think that's
enough.
darkness.
And I'm the only one who looks the part. unless you put on a disguise of yourself, making it look like. No, I meant a broken oath. We have to make it look like Broken Oath did it.
Okay.
Yeah. Disguise self a Broken Oath mask on.
Perfect.
Sounds good. So, sorry, I forgot. You're going home for the evening and going to attack the nephew in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're gonna kill him on the way so that it
Well,
looks
right
like
when he
Broken
leaves
Oath
his
did it.
house. Right when he leaves
Oh
his
shoot!
house.
I have to have an alibi. I have to be somewhere else. Fuck.
I guess you are not helping. Okay.
Want to come to the library?
Sure. Meet you guys at the train afterwards.
So me and Dad are going in. Okay.
I'm going.
Well, we're going undercover with them.
Oh, I'm not going.
I need one person to say high or low.
Low.
Sounds good.
We don't know how they're meeting each other tomorrow. Oh.
We don't.
We have an
I figured
abundance
they were
of
just meeting at
violence
the
in
train
our life
station.
now.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, on the plus side, we have the man's armor now, and you can just pretend to be the uncle and try to talk to him before you kill him.
I do have a great sword.
It worked this time.
True.
And if all else fails, Flax can use the greatsword.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
At the
Let's
same
go
time,
to
I'll be getting a
tomorrow.
library card so that I have an alibi.
It
Oh, I
is the
thought you meant as
greatest-
a weapon.
The greatest
No.
of all gifts. It is the
Knowledge
greatest
is the
weapon of them
greatest.
all.
It is knowledge. Knowledge.
Knowledge is power.
I don't have a library card yet. I wanted one anyways, so works for me.
This will open doors to many new worlds.
Flax, you
I've read
notice an inscription on the blade of the greatsword, and it says Guardian on it.
It says what?
Guardian.
Yeah, he was betraying his country. Well,
Oops.
rip bitch.
As you all leave the scene of the murder, you see a meteor streaking across the night sky.
Streaking.
It's naked. Just
Alright, kids, don't look.
just wiener flopping around, ball sack out for everyone to see.
So
And
flaccid.
then
Well, it certainly is meteor.
When I reach
Archimedes'
over and
nuts
cover Archimedes'
hit the
eyes.
ground. Anyway. No. These, get it? Archimedes' nuts. Anyway.
Well, good campaign, everybody.
I cast Fireball on the DM.
I'm funny. But just to answer chat, yes, this is the gala, but they're going at a later date than the Tuesday campaign did.
There's a chat?
Yeah.
People are watching this?
Yeah.
What's wrong with them?
I know, right?
They're our friends.
Your fucking arms, Kip, just coming out from nowhere.
I'm staying here for a little bit.
Sounds good.
Yes, have his moment.
Anyway, a meteor streaks across the sky. And it goes out of your eyesight. Like it hits somewhere over the horizon. And there is an earth-shattering impact. The buildings around you shake. Nothing around you collapses, but you can tell that its impact, wherever it was, must have demolished anything in its wake. And one by one, you see candles being lit inside homes as people start opening their windows to see what's going on. And there is a murmur of life in the darkness of the night that you did not expect.
I think that was our buddy, you guys.
Question.
I really
Yeah.
hope it wasn't.
Did it land in the city?
You don't know. But you would imagine that it didn't. Like, you don't know where it landed, but you imagine that it did not land within, like, the city proper. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Wait, our town!
Dad Squatch!
No!
My dog!
No!
My
My
son!
boy!
Oh shit, the kid!
I have to get up now. My son! I was sitting at such a weird angle because I was on only the bottom half of my chair. And, that hurt my back.
Guys, I think I left the stove on. We better go home.
Can we tell, like, was it in the direction of our town?
You can give me... First, I need a perception check.
Sure.
Can I make it? Can I help?
So...
Oh, never mind.
This is... Or actually, no, let's go with passive perception, because this is someone who... I'm trying to think of, like, who best saw the angle. So, Fade, I think you have a high passive. Does anyone else have a high passive?
Does
16.
15
I have,
count as a high
17.
passive?
I would say that's on the higher end, yeah.
Okay, so 15.
Thane and Robert, the two of you would notice that your town is to the west, and the meteor went somewhere north.
Hell yeah.
Thank God.
Okay.
That Squatch is safe, y'all.
Alright, everything
My
is
boy.
fine, but no, it's not.
Well, should we go for round 2 with Archimedes this time? Figure out what happened?
What?
I have a bad feeling. There,
Yes.
if that just happened and it shook us here, and it landed somewhere north, do we know what north is? Is the Empire north of us?
The Empire's in every direction of
Yeah.
us.
Oh.
Yeah, we're kind of surrounded.
Where is North?
What
I'm
was
pretty sure
that
the
country?
Gala was to the
Namibia?
north, though.
We should stay here for a little bit. I have a feeling that the nephew is gonna come.
I think everyone's gonna be rushing to work.
I mean, we do have a good excuse for, besides the stab hole, but what caused him to fall in the shower?
The meteor came through and he was eating cheese in the shower and he fell and stabbed himself.
It's a foolproof.
I just
Obviously.
cast Cure Wounds, or is it too late for that?
You guys, hold on. I need to stress. You guys are outside, in a group, in a.
Oh yeah, I want to move away from this dude's house.
Yeah,
quickly
and
as
people are
possible.
starting to come outside. Like the entire city
We need to like
is
stealth our way away
trying
from
to see
this
what the
crowd.
fuck is going on.
I fly away.
I wanna.
Okay, so
Fair
how about we also walk away from this entire situation, also appearing confused, because we are.
We can just head towards the thing.
Yeah.
And now we leave the area before anyone notices that there's a dead guy in a bathtub.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. More important.
Oh,
not get
and
pinned with
key
murder.
part of the plan:
Mm-hmm.
don't be suspicious.
Don't be
Be
suspicious. Don't
suspicious.
be
Don't be
suspicious.
What
The nephew's gonna
direction
come
are
to
you
his
heading
house.
towards?
I want to head towards the meteor.
Yeah.
You don't know where it is besides north, and there's a lot of north here.
Yeah, but the further north we get, the closer we're gonna get to damage, and the more likely we're gonna find someone that needs help.
Yes and no. You could be heading northeast, and it went northwest. So there's a lot of north for you to get in the wrong direction.
Well, how about we go home,
Then let's go to bed.
take a nice nap, and then we'll buy a paper in the morning.
So I have the broom of flying. I can just zoom up and see If there's any like indicator of which way it went specifically.
I can't stress enough. This is like you saw it. It's like watching a shooting star hit on like another state.
Ah, okay, that far away.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Well,
yeah, I say we just go home, go to bed.
Yeah.
Whatever inn
Call
we
it a
rented
day.
there. It's probably just an inn.
Which
We've been in town for a couple of days, so I figure we would have been staying somewhere.
Have you?
Probably at the
Crow
Crowbar.
I thought that you've only been in town like since the morning.
We've been in town for 3 days following these people.
Oh
I
shit! Yeah, you're
staying
right.
At the Crowbar or something.
Yep. Sounds good. So you could go back to the Crowbar, and take a nap. You long rest.
I have such a...
8 hours later. Well, I guess it takes you about like an hour and a half to get home. You have your full 8-hour rest and wake up in the morning. And the talk of the tavern is whatever shook the earth that morning. And some people are saying that the city guard's already setting out an expedition. No one knows exactly in the city where it is yet. Some of the city guard have, used some communication spells, but anyone that they're able to get in contact with only has a vague idea of where it landed. There are some rumors that the university has set up sort of a telescope that can see the meteor from where it's at. There's also rumors that there is a cult who summoned this. There are a lot of little rumors going around, but those are the 3 things that stand out most to you.
I heard it was this angel guy. Because he was confused.
Oh my god.
It was my buddy Frank.
I heard it was a bunch of dumbasses in a city known as New York.
How's there New York if there isn't an Old York?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there is. We just
They
don't
wanted
talk
to be
about
a
it.
Fad.
Yeah.
I cast Fireball.
Please.
Counterspell.
Counterspell. Counterspell. You shouldn't have given me that counterspell.
You think I actually did?
No, no, no.
You have confetti
I
poppers.
hope you did. You're gonna it's gonna be fireball, and I'm just gonna go like counterspell. I'm just gonna fireball on self.
No, you just said it's confetti poppers.
Yep.
So you'll try to do counterspell and just go
pew.
It's not working for our act natural.
No.
Well, we're just at the inn
Where's at
now.
the
They know
bar?
we're fucking weird here.
This banter is pretty normal for us. So.
Yeah.
I would like to start deciphering this code.
You could start doing that.
Okay.
And then the question for the party is: there's also the gala quest.
I was gonna say, if all of the city guard were alerted and there's a bunch of people being sent out on expeditions, we should probably go find out if these people are still going to the gala or not.
Mm-hmm.
And are we willing to go undercover for this long? If we have to go on a...
Oh, we're not going on the expedition.
We're not
Yeah.
going
There's
on
no
the
way.
expedition as guards.
I was
That would not work.
No.
It's really just we have to go find out what's happened to them, because if they find out about the guy being dead because the guard patterns got changed, then that means we have to tell the Broken Oath that we fucked up and that they are gonna get away.
Yeah.
So we gotta go find that.
We have to go find them now.
Yeah.
Act of God is kind of a good excuse why our plan failed.
To be fair, yeah, that is kind of that was completely out of our control. He cannot get mad at us for that one, and if he does,
He's a raging douche.
yeah. Gonna
Yeah,
press
we already knew that,
reputation
though.
his
Have you met
beer to
him?
taste
we,
like
we
sewage.
already knew that he was a raging douche, but like this is like rage factor 7, you know.
I'm going to get up and I'm going to say, everybody, we gotta go now if we need to find that. If we need to find the nephew.
Let's
Right,
go.
Have fun. Have
Yeah.
fun
Yeah, I'm
murdering.
down. Let's go.
Have fun at the library,
I
guys.
think we need everybody
Fuck, right,
just in case.
No, I.
If something happened and they all know, if we come short to a group of very good spies,
Well, if
then
you see more than one of them, don't attack them.
well, this might be our only chance to get them.
I'll come with, and if Sven asks questions, I'll just tell him that there was a meteor and I was concerned, so I went back to my town.
Wait.
I was worried about my dog.
Wait. What if?
Or I could go ask Sven what they're gonna do about the meteor while you guys
There you
go
go.
kill guards.
I feel like that's a really good alibi, and it's very in character.
Straight up, I wasn't there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Archimedes,
Are
give
all
me
of
an
us gonna go?
intelligence check as you. Oh, go ahead.
Or are we all going then? Because I don't want to roll up short to a group of very good spies.
It's up to the party. Regardless, I'm going to be casting, or using the Psionic Whispers, so we can
I'm
all
out, let's
silently
go.
communicate.
Okay. Let's go.
Before we do, because Archimedes said he wanted to try and decipher the code, give me an intelligence check, please.
I did 6.
Yeah, it's you said a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
You don't really make any breakthroughs this morning. It's just the whole party's talking too fucking loud, and it's clearly not your fault. It's their fault for being so distracting.
It's very true.
It always is. It's
I
always
should go to
our
the
fault.
library and work on this.
What? I didn't hear what you said, Archimedes. I'm sorry.
You're right. I should go to the library to work on this. It's more quiet there.
Wait, we need you though. We need your help.
Is everyone
Okay.
going? Sorry, is everyone going to the nephews?
Wait. So, the idea was to make this look like it was a Broken Oaths murder.
Mm-hmm.
So, an owl throwing things at them will not be a Broken Oaths murder.
The only thing I'm worried about is we need to make it look like a broken nose murder, but if there are all of them there,
Yeah, I'm saying if there's all of them there, don't attack them.
them yet.
okay, then we won't.
Like that.
Okay.
That was the whole idea.
Like, go
Okay,
find the
deal.
nephew. If his patterns haven't changed, continue the plan as normal. If there's more people there, or he's not working where he's supposed to be right now, which we know because we've been following him, then Dad will let us know that plans have changed. We can meet back up and regroup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay, deal.
then we have to reassess what the hell we're doing.
In the middle of Archimedes' sentence, you hear just a crack outside, like something breaking the sound barrier, but larger than like any single object that you've heard. Like, because Tide uses her whip all the time, so you hear that. It's like hearing Tide's whip, but amplified by 1,000. And once again, there is another quake from the earth. It's almost like a nuclear bomb is set off, and a huge gust of wind rips through, rips through the city. And you hear another steady crack beneath you. It's much like the sound of a tree branch, a huge tree limb rather, threatening to crack in two in a heavy storm. And you feel the foundation of the crowbar start to shake beneath your feet, and dust from the ceiling shakes, raining on your heads. And you hear shouts of panic outside.
Panic!
That goes outside.
I cast haste on Dad.
I'm following Dad, not hasted.
Yeah, Avery
You
casts
didn't play
haste on Dad on him when the crack happens, so that if the ceiling comes down, he can fucking move a little bit faster.
I'm casting Expeditious Retreat on myself and grabbing Tide by the back of the shirt and getting the fuck out of the tavern.
That grabs Avery as well.
Yeah, I'm casting fuck this shit.
The best spell.
Wait.
Fuck this shit out.
Amazing. Dad and Thane, I'm gonna need dexterity saving throws from you as you run out of the tavern.
Okay.
Oh. Does Expeditious Retreat not give you a bonus to that?
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 2.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I got
21.
a 9.
Sounds good. Dad, you were able to stop just short of the 5-foot gap in the ground outside of the tavern in the middle of the road.
Oh shit.
You watch
Thane
Oh shit!
blast right past you, slipping right in to that gap, but he grabs at the very last second the edge of the street. Beneath him, just vast, empty nothingness, as an earthquake forces the two halves of the street apart. And Thane hangs on by one hand.
He was pulling Tide with him, so wouldn't she be there to help pull him up? Because
I
she's
throw
really
Tide
strong
first
and
and
she
I fall.
can just pull him back up.
I throw Tide first and...
It's okay. You let go of Tide in shock, but like you propel forward.
Oh!
And you're currently hanging,
She'd be right
dangling.
there so she can help him.
Yeah.
I'm
Dad will.
fine.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna
fine.
try to grab him.
Yeah.
Give me one of you can roll a strength check with advantage.
I'd go for it.
Okay. That would be a 23.
Yeah. So, you grab him by the wrist and like yoink him up and drop him onto his feet. And by this point, the rest of the party looks out, and you see that the street continues to widen. The buildings on the opposite side are the ones that are actually the ones most likely to collapse and to collapse quickly. The side of the street that has the crowbar, fortunately, is on like the plate that's not moving, but it's still shaking because the earth is separating. And so I'm going to tell you above table how this is going to work. In 6 minutes, all of the buildings on the opposite side of the street are going to collapse. The street is going to widen at 2 feet per minute. So right now it's 5. At the start of minute 1, it'll be 7, then 9, then 11, then 13 until the end of 6 minutes. Across the street, there are some residential homes, like a little residential neighborhood. There is a school. There is a weapon shop. There is a community center. And there is a hospital.
Alright, gang, let's split up.
So,
Dad, Avery, go to the school. Get them all evacuated. Let's see.
and
I
then,
can
sorry,
move at-
What? So here's. Let me tell you some other things that. So Dad, you will. Each round is going to actually be a minute's worth of activity.
Okay.
So you'll be able to cast multiple spells and this, that, and the other thing. Dad, you will be able to be hasted through essentially half of the time. That is minute 1. So you'll have a lot of movement, and you'll get over your, action. The 1 round of lethargy, in that as well. If you have 45 feet of movement or more, you could count that as having like extra, time to get stuff done. But if you have 30 feet of movement, then that's kind of like the standard amount of movement you'll need to do stuff.
So I have Expeditious Retreat up, which basically gives me a bonus action to dash. If
Nice.
I use my action, bonus action, and movement, that is 120 feet.
Nice.
I was gonna say you
What-
should go through the hospital because that's gonna have the most floors and it's gonna require the most heads up notice. So
And bear in mind, each place is going to have different needs, and you don't know exactly what those needs are. But I mean, you could imagine that, like at the hospital, there's going to be people who aren't able to move, or you're going to have to lift heavy machinery for the people who require that heavy machinery to live. Which will be different from the school, where you're probably going to need someone who's able to like run around quick and look for kids, and round them up.
which is why I say Dad and Avery go there. Thane and Tide go to the hospital. Flax, you come with me to the weapons shop.
Yeah.
Because either A, we can ransack, or B, we can help. And then
And then
we
there's the
will leave
residential.
Mr. Charismatic to the community center. Archimedes. Wait, no, Archimedes, you're not here, are you?
No, he is.
Oh, he is? I didn't know if he went to the library or not.
No, this was happening as you were making your decision.
Oh, as we were planning to go to the library. Okay,
There's
then.
also the residential houses.
Oh, there's residential. Fuck.
Yeah.
I have to go save the
Those-
books.
Are
Goodbye.
they like?
I'm sure the library's fine.
Is the library on this side of the street or
There's
no?
no library on this side.
Okay.
Hang
Then.
on. We've got. Okay, so there's a.
Oh, and then the other thing is there's that gap that's widening, so it's now 7 feet across at the start of round 1. So
I will.
you not only have to worry about getting people out of the hospital, but across the street.
Okay.
I can-
I
I've
can
done
help
that
at the
far.
hospital.
You can help at the hospital?
You'll help
Okay.
with
Yes.
Then.
Fireball.
Yep.
the fire.
Put them out of
I
their
will
misery.
not help.
No.
Okay, so that means
Okay, Flax, you solo the weapons shop then, because there won't be many people there.
Okay.
I believe in you.
I don't know
give
how
him a
I'm
bag of
getting
holding.
back
Give him a bag of holding.
I will fly through the residential area because I have my wings, so I can fly around just fucking screaming, "Everyone, get the fuck out!"
We should have you over here helping people across.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
can-
how I'm getting anywhere across or back across the giant void.
I pick up
What's your
Flax
strength
and put him on my
score?
shoulder.
Hell yeah.
What's your
Roll him
strength
like a football.
And just so you
I-
know, you can jump
Fine.
equal to your strength score laterally.
So if you do a running jump, you can jump whatever your strength score is. So I can
Uh,
do a running jump and jump 13 feet.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I would. Like
Actually,
to
you know
far.
what? It's the beginning of the day. I can cast jump on myself, and do a running jump and jump 23 feet. So
Now, also
would-
bear
I
in
would
mind.
like-
Oh God.
I would like to use my Order of the Scribes feature to ritually cast Tensor's floating disc, just as an action.
Perfect. Good way to ferry people.
So, okay, we got Archimedes on hospital.
Mhm.
We have Robbie, you are flying through the residential area as fast as you can.
Yep.
especially
Dad,
running it.
Avery.
Dad and Avery are on the school because they're both great with kids.
Okay. Flax is on weapons shop.
Flax is on weapons shop. I'm gonna
What
say
was
that
the
you.
last one?
Last one is gonna be community center. I should say Tide should go there, and then you, Thane, should go with Archimedes to the hospital because you're faster.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah. Okay.
And just another thing to work that'll work in your favor with spells, like we're gonna be loose with this a bit. So if there's a creative use that you can use for your spell, go for it. Like with Tensor's floating disc, the wizard has to be within 20 feet of it. But for this purpose, like we're gonna say that like you're just kind of in this high stress moment, and you just are able to leave that disc and have it, ferry across without Archimedes there. So Archimedes can go move around to other places instead of being stuck at the disc.
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
If I use my detect magic at will, because I took that as my other
Warlock,
is anything popping up within that, like anywhere near the crack or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
All right. So loose initiative. I just have everyone. I'm gonna ask people in a certain order just because that's what I wrote down. But you don't have to go in that order every time. You can combo stuff. So Dad and Avery, you guys are going to the school.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk into the school and you're able to see a teacher frantically. It's like one of those like one room schoolhouses sort of thing. And you see the teacher frantically scrambling around trying to find all the kids. Some of them are like hiding in fear, while others are like kind of like she's telling them to all go by this play mat and kind of huddle together so that she could keep them all accounted for while she goes and finds all the other ones that are currently hiding in terror. What do you do?
I'm actually going to. You said this is gonna last a minute, right?
So this is round one.
So, dropping haste is gonna be a negligible like 5 seconds where he can't move.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna twin to expeditious retreat us so that we can just move. Can I do that?
No, it's only self.
Can I not do that on another person?
Because
technically twin spell just says you can only do it if it targets one person, and it only targets one person.
I think it says that doesn't have a range of self, though.
Damn. Alright, fine, I'll leave haste on him then, for now.
Yeah, that and doesn't have a range of self.
Yeah, he's more used to moving like that then.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'm gonna go make sure that the kids that have already been found do not scatter anywhere.
Okay, so you corral, and the teacher looks over at Dad, and she goes, "I'm missing 3. One's a tiefling boy, blue skin, pink hair. Elven girl, brown hair, dark skin, curly hair. Third one, a Triton boy, blue skin, blue hair."
Okay.
And the tiefling boy is named Brazen.
I thought you said a raisin.
Elven girl, Lila. And then the Triton boy is Myron.
Okay. Can you describe the room itself? Like, what's the setup, stuff like that? Where are the hiding spots? Or, like, where are the obvious hiding spots, I guess, that have already been searched?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. 17 plus 9, whatever that is.
26.
Thanks.
You are able to notice a couple of things. One, there is an open door to a backyard, which you imagine is like a playground. So that seems to be a place where they could be hiding. There's a couple of supply closets. There's some desks that have been turned over, You imagine like she probably checked all of these places, but like in her panic, like is not able to like check very well, and she was also corralling other kids while looking.
Sure.
And then another hidey spot that you notice is that there's a couple of like half walls that you imagine is like her like grading area where she does like lesson prep while the kids sleep.
Mm-hmm. He's going to use Mage Hand to open up the supply closets as he's going back into the backyard.
Sounds good. You could manipulate it as an action, so yeah. So you do that, and you would not notice it, but Avery would see that Lila was hiding in one of the supply closets.
I definitely point that out.
Sounds good.
Like, sorry, I'm just like, there's one over there.
All right, and that's where we'll end that first minute because you had to run over there first, and like so you got kind of like a half round there. I have to blow my nose again. So everyone else, think about what you're going to be doing this first round.
I have to use the bathroom real quick, so I'm gonna take off just for like 2 minutes.
I did not expect this today.
I was really worried we were gonna have to choose between which villagers to keep.
I thought we were gonna have to do.
They said
I
it was
was
gonna
like,
be unnamed NPCs, so.
yeah, I was like, okay, who do we know in the town that we need to get out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we really have that option to go help specific people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, not with this immediate threat.
I did just look, and my jump spell isn't range of self; it's just range of touch. So I can cast that on both of us. So even it triples jump distance, which means that we can use it to get the kids across because we'll be able to jump 3 times as far. So encumbrance won't fuck us up as bad, and we'll be able to just like grab a pair and jump, and then come back.
Dad can also, like I said, he has his broom of flying. So
yeah, you have a flying broom.
And I can carry. I can carry multiple people on that too.
Yeah.
So I can just pile a couple kids on there and then haul ass.
Pile on the kids.
Yep.
Get a whole lot of kids on there.
M did have to run to the bathroom, so start with the not them.
Wait, no, it was Thane and Archimedes.
At the hospital.
Because Tide.
I have to do the community center. Who hangs out at a community center?
Old people.
Old people.
I
great.
hang out at the community center.
What are the odds, Casey? Oh, that made me jump. I'm not even going to lie. Oh. Oh, well, yeah. Basically, the Casey said, yeah, the little elf girl was named Lila. Did you say that? That's the exact same name as my girlfriend, and her first D&D character we literally made 2 days ago was a elf druid, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" It just hit. I was like, I don't like that. I was like, I did not like that. That hit. I was like, wait.
Sounds good. I also forgot to unmute myself on stream, but now I'm unmuted.
Oh,
all right.
Fine.
So Thane and Archimedes, you go to the what's it called? The hospital. It is a 4-floor hospital. Like there's the ground floor and then 4 levels above that. It's not like a huge, it's not like, modern hospital size, but it's pretty big by fantasy setting size. And right now you notice a lot of the staff are like rushing around, getting people out of their beds, down the stairs, making their way out into the street. What do you do?
I realize that floating disc will not help across the gap.
We're being loose with it, so that it's fine.
Well, in that case,
because also bear in mind, like there's literally dozens to hundreds of people, and it's not going to be able to fit all of them at one time. It's not going to be able to ferry all of them. So it's one solution to get them across, but it's not going to be a solve all.
Well, I also realize that it is not a concentration spell.
Correct.
Nor is it like if you cast more than one, it disappears. So I can have up to 5. Actually, I can have
can't you
more
only
going.
Can't you only cast them not as a ritual?
Well, otherwise it's just an action.
You have it prepared.
If I want to use a spell slot, yeah.
Perfect. So how many are you casting?
I'm gonna cast 4 additional ones. Just to get through all my first level spell slots. So I have 5 up currently.
Sounds good. So you won't be able to do much this round because you spend most of your time doing that before getting to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll let Thane do his round, kind of, doing, trying to get a feel of what's going on in the hospital. Then he'll relay that to Archimedes, so that Archimedes can then act next turn in the hospital.
I'll go with like all the people who need like equipment moved to make them live.
I'm gonna go to the people who don't need that. I'm gonna look at one of the workers and be like, "Where do you need the most help?"
So here's what they're at a loss. So, they don't necessarily know where they need the most help because they need help everywhere. So they will let you know that floors 1 and 2 have more people on it, and they're more mobile. So what they need is essentially help getting disconnected from like their IVs and like all that other hospital gear. And once they're disconnected from that, they can then move freely. Then there is floor 3, which have people who are more or less mobile, but they're on machinery support. And therefore, like, they need help having that carried. And then there are people on floor 4 who are not mobile and cannot move at all.
That just sounds like poor planning.
It is.
Fourth floor, really?
Yep.
Really? Oh.
The disabled people should be on the
I got
first
the ADA
floor.
here.
Yep.
I was just thinking about.
Go ahead.
It was like my disabled ass cannot jump 19 feet.
Yep.
Today we are.
Give me an intelligence check, Thane.
Oh, great. That's a +0.
You've got this.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
12. Not bad.
So, you have like the little, like the calculus GIF meme going on in your head as you're like thinking about
all the
it.
Numbers.
And so that like for an average person, it probably would take like 3 minutes worth of time to clear out the people on either floor 4 or 3. It would take a minute's worth of time to clear floor 1 or 2. For you, it would be halved because you are a speedy boy. So it would essentially take you 1.5 turns in this combat to be able to clear either floor 3 or 4. But that means that if you don't if you don't have someone clearing the other ones, then those ones won't make it. So you're going to have to work with Archimedes and coordinate well so that you're able to evacuate the whole hospital together.
Otherwise, it gets a little eugenicsy.
It absolutely does.
Archimedes.
What?
You get ready to get the people out of floor 4 with your discs. I'm gonna get everybody unhooked in levels 1 and 2 because you said it was about a minute.
You would be
take
able
me
to.
half.
Yep, you'd be
Get
able
both
to
of them?
clear both of those. So here's the issue-ish with that. Archimedes can absolutely get the people out of those floors, but then those discs can't be used to ferry people over. Getting them out of the hospital is half the battle. Getting them across the chasm is the other half.
Well, I'm leaving the one that's already at the chasm there with my manifest mind.
Yep.
Thingy.
So if you wanted to, because you're using floating disc, if you wanted to dedicate your floating discs to get floors 3 and 4 settled, you can get them over and across in that round and a half per thing. So if you're willing to dedicate that the next 3 rounds to evacuating those 2 floors, you can use your discs for that. Cool. So I'm going to start that timer here. So 1 second. That'll be starting next round. So 1, 2, 3. So you are occupied for turns 2, 3, and 4, which gives you 5 and 6 to work with. And then Thane, your turn 2 is going to be used up freeing those 2 floors. So everyone in the hospital will be accounted for between the 2 of you. And then Thane, you will be able to act again on round 3. Next up, Tide. You're going to the community center. And similarly to the issue that Avery and Dad found, there are a lot of very old and very young people here. And the young people, for the most part, are hiding in fear. It's almost like a bunch of like grandparents were taking their grandchildren out on a nice, afternoon, looking to play some chess or listen to a bard sing some fun songs. And the grandparents don't really have the strength to like pull the kids that are currently having like just scared meltdowns right now. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh boy. Oh.
I know this isn't the best time, but I have to say, of course it was bring your grandkid to work day.
I'm never hanging with Grandpa again.
That's a 17.
You would know that there's too many people here for you to be able to like corral on your own. But you know that if you're able to corral the grandkids, the grandparents would naturally follow. Like the grandparents are only staying, like they could start moving right now, but they're not leaving without their grandkids. So if you focus on the grandkids, you'll be able to sort of like double the amount of people you're able to save.
Are they like hiding? Like the little ones are hiding?
More or less. They're currently like either cowering under desks or like they're not hiding in the sense that you can't find them. They're hiding in the sense that like they're cowering somewhere and then the grandparents are trying to cajole them out. But most are doing it unsuccessfully. Like there's plenty that were there and that have already pieced out with their grandkids. But there's also plenty that are currently having meltdowns, or some of them are hiding under tables together because they don't really realize that how bad it is outside and don't realize that this place is about to collapse.
Okay, so I need to chill these kids out. Do I yell at them and make it worse?
I have worked in an elementary school for 2 years. No.
Actually, okay, so what if I start playing my pan flute to like calm them down and coax them out.
Pied Piper the children.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You can, but you're going to have to play better than an earthquake.
I can
like
attempt.
Like you have to play where they're more intrigued by you than they're scared of the earthquake.
I personally think that it's very easy to play pipes better than an earthquake, given that the earth has very little lung capacity.
Can't really play the pipes.
I love it.
Oh man.
You could give me a performance check.
And that's a +6. 17.
Nice. Roll me a D100.
Okay. $94.
Jesus fucking Christ. You are able to get all but 2 kids distracted enough where the grandparents are able to sort of like, you know, get them up and get them walking, and they're distracted in that moment, so they're able to like walk the kids out. But there are 2 that are completely and utterly inconsolable, even by your pipes. So that will be a thing for you to solve next round. But so far, you've evacuated most of them. Robbie.
Hello, I'm Robert.
What do you do?
I am flying, like a bat out of hell, through the residential community, shouting at the top of my lungs, "Get the fuck out, or you die."
Not the British are coming?
Well, the British are not coming.
Death is.
Death is. So I am simply telling them that the earthquake has decimated the structural integrity of their homes, and they gotta leave, or collapse into the mantle of the earth and be slowly consumed by lava. Probably not in so many words, as I can only, yell so much, but you know.
Sounds good.
How gentle.
I need a performance check and a perception check.
Listen, no one asked me to do this in a comforting manner. They asked me to do this in a
That's
fast
more of an
manner.
intimidation check, in my opinion.
If you want to roll intimidation, then you can instead of persuasion.
Let's see. I will roll persuasion because I have advantage on it because I have the actor feat.
Hey. Wait, isn't that just for deceiving for who you're attempting to impersonate?
That's a great question, DM. Let me consult Google. When trying to pass myself off as a different person. Doesn't matter though, it's fine.
Are you trying to pass yourself off as an authority figure?
Yeah, sure.
You can say this is the city guard.
The city guard demands all the people out so that you don't die in a pit of death.
Yeah.
I like to think just because it would bother him, you steal Sven's voice.
Yes. I will steal Sven's voice.
Yeah, like it has no consequence, but like you just need to think of like what authoritative city guard. Ah, yes, he has the biggest dick up his ass.
I heard the biggest dick up his ass, and I was like, damn, okay.
I'm sick, please. I'm stuffy. I'm trying so hard to run a game.
It's like, let me get the number of his boyfriend, but 15 on the performance check.
Oh my god. Roll me a D100, please.
Sure. For perception, that's 15, by the way.
Sounds good. I will give you that information shortly.
For a D100, that is 98.
Fuck the both of you. Damn. It's okay. Yeah, a majority.
Kill someone else later.
I'll just find your favorite NPC and...
That's just another check on the list. Just like, yep, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone.
It's okay. Yeah, it's a mass exodus. But as you're watching people leave, like this is mostly like families. And like there's a lot of commoners, mostly people who are doing more domestic tasks. So like
Yeah.
the men that stay behind who keep the homes, like they don't seem like they'll be able to jump across the chasm. And there's only one floating disc right now. So you realize, like, even though you got most of them out, the real trouble is getting them across. There's about 150 to 200 people that you just evacuated, um, and a lot of them have young kids.
Well,
Some, oh god,
well, I mean, I've got wings and a 240-pound carrying capacity. That sounds like 2 kiddos to me.
oh absolutely. So you'll deal with that one later, but that's going to be like your quote unquote your puzzle to solve now that you were able to evacuate a majority of the what was I going to say, residential area. The ones that remain just shout at you that they did their own research and earthquakes aren't real, and that
Then
you're
by all
just
means, jump in the hole.
Yeah.
yeah.
Save us from your stupidity.
Flax.
I guess we're just gonna run in and check out what we can find.
In the weapon shop.
Yeah.
You get into the weapon shop and you notice there is a shout for help that is very much pained. And you see that the forge that they use to make the weapons, luckily it was off, but unfortunately it collapsed and fell on two of the workers, and their legs are currently crushed under this massive piece of machinery. Looking at it, you doubt you alone would be able to lift it. Um, and looking at them, you know that they probably will have to be amputated. Even if they're able to, even if you're able to lift this, their legs will probably have to be amputated because it is just so crushed right now that they would probably die from the injury.
This is a great time to remind them that they have a great axe. Or no, a great
Um,
sword, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry, I've got multiple amputation means. I'm looking through my gear to see, because I'm hoping they would survive me cutting off their legs.
You don't know; these are commoners.
You got all this stuff to cauterize their wounds right here.
I have a
I'll pass out from that, at least.
yeah. I have a tinderbox and a torch.
They also, yeah, they also have things here that can make life easier for you with that as well.
These people are gonna hate me.
Um,
There's either 3 solutions. We either chop off their feet, try to get help moving the thing, or ignore them and just loot the shop.
oh my god.
Flax is gonna look like
That
he
one.
looks between like the gear on the wall and then the people and then the gear and then the people.
Please
Sigh,
help.
goes to help the people.
Give me an intelligence check, please.
Oh no.
Rob you.
Another 13.
That's not a. What was I gonna say? That's not too bad. Looking at the forge, you know that the forge would be probably about 2,000 pounds. So you would have to get a lot of people to lift this. Or perhaps if you use some sort of tool to wedge under, you would be able to essentially like half the carrying capacity that you would need to be able to lift this to get them out. Looking at them, that pretty much one hit is going to be enough to like knock them out, meaning you're constantly going to have to be stabilizing them if you are amputating them. You also know that there are doctors in the hospital right down the block that can help you with this.
That's convenient.
you imagine that it'll probably take like 2 minutes to amputate and get them across. If you were going back and forth between stabilizing them yourselves, or you can get someone to help and have a better chance at like guaranteeing them being stable rather than you having to make those checks all the time.
How long would it take to run and go get a doctor?
You can pretty much do that in a round. Like you could start going now. Be there at turn 2, and then you come back and start amputating next turn.
Gross. Okay, I guess the responsible thing would be to go run and get a doctor. So we're gonna go try to get a doctor first before taking an axe to their feet.
All right. Roll me a D100, please. This is one where I won't mind you rolling high.
That would be a 1.
001?
Yeah.
All right. The only so this was to see a doctor and their compatibility with flax. So the only one that's available is this very posh-looking elvish gentleman, with like slicked back, like not a hair out of place, even in this fucking earthquake, tied back, and I think with Flax, you don't even attempt to talk to him. You know that like he's not going to give you the time of day, so you potato sack him.
Yeah.
And rush over with your new cape flying in the breeze behind you. And he is shouting that he's being kidnapped. But no one gives a shit about him right now because the earth is opening up. And you're able to rush him back into the shop where he will help you. But it's we're going to resolve that next turn.
Unfortunately, he's a dermatologist.
We're just talking about like personality wise. Speaking of dermatologists, who here knows what a T-zone is?
I do.
I had a big makeup special interest.
Do any like assigned male at birth people know what the fuck a T-zone is?
I am a no. No. I am a
T-zone.
What?
I don't.
Okay, so I'm glad that there. Yeah. Okay.
God no.
I'm glad.
Why is there a specific word for that?
I'm invested now. I'm looking it up.
It's the area of like your
forehead, and
your
then
forehead
from the
and
center
your
of your
nose.
forehead to your chin, apparently.
What the fuck?
Not to your chin, I don't think. I think it just goes
Your,
down the nose.
Google says your
Is-
forehead, nose, and chin.
Oh, and your
Yeah,
chin. Okay.
your T-zone is the part of your face that includes your forehead, nose, and chin.
Yeah, that's exactly what mine says.
Your biggest facial pores are.
Apparently where most people get acne. Interesting.
Yep.
Anyway.
The reason
What's
why I
the
asked that is 'cause-
U-zone?
Well, no. One of my
Probably
friends
your
was like, how do you not know what T-zones are? And only the, well, Ren, did you nod your head?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say the only people that didn't know what they were the trans men and the assigned male at birth dudes in the room. So.
I only know this because my friend had a makeup special interest, like Emily.
Yep. And my friend was like, well,
Mildly
you should
called
all know,
out.
like, if you go to a dermatologist, they ask you that. And we're like,
Who goes to a
Who goes
dermatologist?
to a
You can
dermatologist?
afford a dermatologist.
People with skin trouble?
anyway, I
The
do
first time I got
my own
to
section.
dermatology was when California started including acne medication in insurance, and all of my doctors like, do you want acne medication? And I was like, is it that bad?
Your T-zone.
My acne that bad? Damn.
I said too.
Absolutely
flattering.
obliterated.
It does wonders to a 12-year-old's
Oof.
sense of confidence right there.
Rip.
So about this natural disaster that's occurring.
Yeah, about the about the
Yep.
earthquake that might kill hundreds.
Did anyone not get round 1? Alright. Round 2, we're back to Dad and Avery.
Dad is going into the backyard to see if there's a kid in the playground.
Give me an investigation check, please.
19 plus 8.
Nice.
Math.
Wasn't it plus 9 last round? What the fuck happened to the other plus?
No, it's plus 8, I think. Oh, wait, no, you're right. It was plus... So, 19 plus 9.
There we go.
Yep.
I just love how between indoors he has a plus 9 to his investigation. Outdoors he's a little less effective, gets distracted. It's only a plus 8.
He has trouble seeing in light. Yeah,
Tracks.
there you go.
You are able to find a little tiefling boy with his rabbit, very much like how the dwarves are stuck under the forge. This rabbit is stuck under a piece of rubble that fell down in the earthquake, and he's trying to pull it free from underneath the boulder, but he can't. Mr. Fluffy, you have to come with us. I can't leave you behind.
How big is the boulder? Okay, can Weakling Dad help out with moving the boulder? He's just gonna scoop the kid up and go.
Just punch it.
Give me a contested grapple check.
Yeah, you can also call for me. I can run out and help.
Chris Redfield this shit.
Quick, leave them. Teach you
What do I?
Athletics or acrobatics. The number to beat is 18.
Hold on, math. I'll actually calculate this. 24.
Yeah. You scoop him up. And start running him back. What's your AC?
It is 16.
He sinks his teeth into your shoulder and screeches.
BBEG created.
You take 1 piercing damage. And
Avery, take it back about wanting kids.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This was a stuffed rabbit, right? This wasn't a real
rabbit. Oh, it was a stuffed rabbit, yeah.
Okay. I was like, bro.
I was like,
this
the
kid
rabbit's
is
already dead.
Rabbit. I was like, oh.
There's no saving it. So he takes the kid and just like, if he needs like rip the kid out of his shoulder, he will, but he just like, gently tosses him into the pile of kids.
Sounds good.
When that kid is passed me, on top of the kid we already found in the supply closet and all the other ones, and he seems very upset about this rabbit, I'm just gonna look at him like, sit down. And just...
One more.
Make him sit with the rest of them.
He runs off again.
Son of a bitch. I'll go home.
Rabbit.
Yeah, he running.
Where's he go?
Back outside.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Dad, do you stay
rabbit,
back? Dad, do you stay back with the kids while Avery follows?
Yeah.
And
unfortunately,
it'll be great.
Brazen is he sees you following and gestures for you to follow him. We have to get Mr. Fluffy. My grandma gave him to me and she died.
Okay, kid.
Oh.
That's exactly how a kid would say it.
Fine, and I'll go help with Mr. Fluffy. How big is this rock?
It's about 500 pounds.
Okay.
Amputate the leg of the bunny.
Got the bunny right in half.
Knock the child unconscious.
Oh,
Tempting.
Archimedes said that.
Tempting.
True heroes.
Yes, we are the heroes of this story.
Cool.
Maybe.
Yeah. So the rabbit's stuck
Maybe.
under the edge of the rock. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Can I just slam a shocking grasp into the rock to break it and get the rabbit out?
Give me an Arcana check. That would be an option. I just want to see how long into this minute it takes.
17 plus 8. That's math.
Yeah, so you
25.
like I
25.
almost imagine like a chakra point for the rock, and you just kind of
Yeah.
like how Toph like hits the metal and is able to find all of like
Yes.
the stone bits. You do that with a shocking grasp and are able to kind of cause fissures that anime style. You get the sort of effect and free Mr. Fluffy. And Brazen will pull it close to his chest. Thank you, mister. The other guy was awful.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure. Where's the third kid? You seen him?
No.
No? Go back to the others. Go.
And he toddles off.
Alright.
Give me a perception check. I'll let you get that.
This is a +1, guys. We're gonna do great.
Or investigation.
Oh, that's a lot better. Well, with an investigation, that's gonna. I rolled a 16, so that's actually not bad either way. But investigation, that's gonna be a 21.
Sounds good. You notice that there is a break in the fence.
Oh no.
So the kid is probably not inside or here. But running somewhere outside of the school grounds. Let us go now to so Thane, that you're finishing up freeing floors 1 and 2. So then Flax, you get back.
I just have one thing to say.
Go ahead.
The Toph reference, I literally have Avatar: The Last Airbender sweatpants on. Just going to say that. Okay, keep going.
I love it. All right. So, Flax, you drop this elven man, and as soon as he sees what's going on, he looks over and he goes, "Well, what did you bring me here for without my tools? You heathen. Have you no
Punch him.
brains inside of that thick skull of yours?"
Hey,
him.
can
Punch him.
you use what we got?
Well, what do you have?
He just kind of pulls out a tinderbox and a torch out of his pocket.
Are you looking to
It's
murder
rope.
them?
We've got rope.
For what? Are you looking
I'm
to
gonna-
hang them or help them?
I'm gonna chop their legs off.
Well, do you know how to?
Sus.
Do you know how to swing a sword better than you are able to rationalize common sense?
1,000% yes.
So he nods, and he pulls out a couple of like things from his doctor's skirt with there's like the little gloves, and he gets some antiseptic, and is able to sort of prep being able to stabilize. I'm going to need actually he finds like hilts of daggers to give them so they could bite down on that. And I'm going to need an attack roll for each of them. So it'll take a minute to free to amputate each of them. There's 2.
So is that gonna be a strength?
You're just gonna do a normal attack roll, and we're just gonna see like how clean of a job he marks it on like each leg where you should cut.
Hope this goes well. This could be very nice.
I mean, technically, they're prone.
Oh,
so you
that
should
is-
get advantage.
That is a nat 20 for the first one, thank God.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you take this brand new great sword and name the Guardian, and you just kind of channel like, I need to protect, I need to help, I need to help, and you kind of slam, and in a single swoop give a clean cut on both legs, and the doctor quickly and the dude passes out immediately,
That's good.
fortunately, and the doctor will quickly clean and bandage the amputated legs, and work on that while you start prepping number 2, and who's looking at you like, okay, like scared, but like, okay, that looked good. Please do that for me too. Please, for the love of God, make it that clean for me too. And
I've
so
never been so nervous.
that'll be.
Also,
Go ahead.
did you hear what Andrew said?
No.
They're prone, so you have advantage.
This is more of a. You're not actually like attacking them. This is just to see. Because I could have just said like do a strength check. So we're just doing a regular roll for this. Which brings us to Tide. There are 2 children that are currently too scared to move. Both of them are around like 3 to 5 years old.
Can I manhandle the children and throw them over my shoulder?
You could. Give me a contested grapple check.
What does that mean?
You roll an athletics or acrobatics. The number to beat is 12 for the first child.
That's a 9.
You are not able to grapple them on the first attempt, but you do get essentially 2 attacks. So like you try and grab them and they duck out of the way, or rather, you know how toddlers just throw themselves in their full weight, and you're not like you don't expect it because like people who you're able to like rationalize with a bit more like know to like not throw their full weight onto the ground, but like kids, they have like they don't give a shit. They're like, fuck you, I'm on the floor. New number is 13.
Oh my god, that's an 11.
Oh my, yeah. Let's go again.
Plus 7 too.
Okay, luckily, they rolled a 3.
Oh my god. 16.
All right, so the first time, you spend a little bit of time, but you're finally able to wrangle it into your arms, and you kind of hold this child, carrying under your arm, and you rush to the other one, and the girl's like, "What are you doing with my grandson?" As you're running to get the other child. Give me a contested grapple check. Luckily, that's a natural 3 for a 2.
Ooh, 27.
Yeah, you're enraged at like how slippery that first one was. So you grab, and you kind of hold them up and look at the grandparents like, let's get the fuck out of here. Or what does Tide say?
She's gonna look at the grandma or the grandparent that said, what do you do with my grandchild? And I'm gonna be like, look, I want to live, and these kids deserve to live, and so do you. So let's go.
And they follow. And we'll say for the rest of the minute, you're able to ferry those 4 easily across the one tensor's floating disc. The gap now, let's finish. Well, it's at 9 feet across at this moment. And now we're up to Robert.
Hello.
What
That's
do you
me.
do?
I am flying bitches across a gap.
How are you flying?
With my wings.
Which are they the ones from? No, Robert wasn't here for that. That was the thing that you got from the. What's the fly speed? Is really the question I'm looking for.
The fly speed is 30 feet. It's my speed. I basically just gained a flying speed with these.
Sounds good. And what's your carrying capacity?
240 pounds.
Okay, so you could carry 2 adults or 4 children at a time, I will say.
All right.
So let's see. You got 30 each one. Give me an athletics check to see if you're able to do 2 rounds, like 2 turns per 6 seconds, or 1 back and forth per 6 seconds, because it's technically 20 feet. So we're gonna see if you're able to push your limits a little bit.
14.
So I will give you the option to either do 2 per time. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe
Because
not.
type.
I thought I was going to. So
I
you can,
blessed you before it, so I
um,
ruined your chances of sneezing.
you can either do 2, and you'll have to do a Constitution saving throw to not gain 1 level of exhaustion, or you could play it safe and do 1 round.
I'll take the con save.
Sounds good. Give me a con save. DC 15.
Natural fucking 20, I shit you not.
I love it. Okay, so that's 2 rounds. Are you focusing on the adults or the children?
The kids.
Okay, so that's 4 times. So 40, right? No, that's a few. So 80 kids.
I'm getting 80 kids. I'm prioritizing children and then their parents.
Yeah, so you kind of you line them up. Or actually, give me. I'm going to need another deception check using your like authority figure to essentially tell them to line up along the side so that you can ferry them. Children first, then adults first.
Sure.
So they're like staying organized in this panic.
Whew, glad for the advantage from my feet, because that was a natural 1 versus a natural 12 to give me performance of 13.
All right, so you are not able to get them to listen as well as you would hope to be able to like confidently match the kid to the adult.
Sure.
However, you're still able to get the kids first and then prioritize the adults second, because even if they're not organizing correctly, you can tell who's an adult and who's a kid for the most part.
I have eyeballs, I can generally tell.
Exactly. So you get 80 kids. There are about 200 people, so you do get a fair amount, and a majority are kids. So imagine if we're just going to say something like 160 are kids and 40 are adults. If we're going
Sure.
just for the breakdown.
Right.
So that brings us to round 3. Do we feel like we need a break?
I'm good for now.
I did get at least 1 head nod, and then I also have to blow my nose. So let's take 5 minutes and come back at 13 after the hour.
Sounds good.
Bet. Yo, yo.
This playlist does not fit this at all, but I love this playlist, so I'm just listening to it at this point. It does not fit D&D at all, but it's too good.
I love that Flax went to the weapon shop.
I was wondering where I'm gonna end up. And that one did make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I'd be amputating someone's legs with a sword today. I just messaged my partner and I was like, D&D is going so well. I get to chop off someone's legs with a sword.
I love that.
I told my girlfriend, by the way, and she was like, I hate that coincidence, but I love it. And I was like, yeah. She said, you better get that kid out safe. And I was like, okay, I will.
Well, that's what the
That's your guys' job.
mm-hmm.
You're protecting me right now, not everybody else. You're protecting me.
Mm-hmm.
We've got it, don't worry.
You want to come say hello?
Cat.
Oh boy.
Cat.
Oh,
cat.
what a baby.
He's so good. You smell so stinky. She desperately needs a bath.
Okay. So now we are at round 3 with Dad and Avery.
Okay, I remember what the other two kids' names were, but I forgot the last one. So we had Lila and Brazo. What was the Triton's name again?
Myron.
Myron. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna run back inside really quick and tell Dad and the teacher to start getting the kids across. And then, I'll cast Expeditious Retreat on myself
Mm-hmm.
and just start fucking running around looking for Myron in the nearby area and calling him.
Sounds good. Give me an investigation check.
That was so terrifying. It almost landed on the 2 and then it rocked over to the 18.
Beautiful.
23.
All right. So you hear a very, very faint voice responding to you, like a little kid just, please help, I'm over here, please, you know.
Yeah.
And you, as you get there, you're like, fucking kids and their animals. You see that there is this poor little, Triton kid trying to scoop up all these itty bitty, like practically newborn kittens into his arms.
Oh.
Babies.
I'm gonna just, it was early morning, we weren't really quite ready to go anywhere. I will straight up just take my shirt off and make it into a bag for the kittens.
Sounds good.
It's the easiest piece of clothing to grab at the moment. Here's a bag for the kittens.
Yup. So you that's everyone's natural reaction. You see a bunch of cute cats, you just take your shirt off.
That's dream.
He's gonna come back with a kid and a bunch of kittens and just be topless.
Yup.
I will paint that. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
At that moment, he completely forgets that he has like 3 spare sets of clothes in his bag of holding. It's just the first piece of clothing that was easy to come off.
Yup.
So
you just whoop, right off, and then you make a little like carry satchel, and the kid will look up at you with these big blue eyes and goes, "We have to find their mama too. She must be somewhere."
I will find the mom. You go inside the schoolhouse with everyone else, okay?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Come on, I'm good at charisma. I've got a +8. Come on. Okay, it's an 11, but I do have that +8, so that's a 19.
Okay, yeah. He will agree, but will reach his hand out for the baby kittens.
Okay, I will give him the carry sack and tell him to get inside the schoolhouse with his teacher and the other kids.
He starts going, but then will turn around and give you one of the kittens, and go.
Now I have to find the mom. Okay.
Pretty much be like, she'll probably hear them crying.
Okay.
And
Kid
this
kitten.
little mewling kitten will, just kind of like, little baby squeals in your hand, and Myron will rush back to the schoolhouse. So that will be your minute here.
As soon as he's out of sight, I remember that I have shirts in my bag, and then I go start to look for the mom cat.
Sounds good. So that'll be next turn. Dad, you see Myron return with Avery's shirt of cats, and he will actually bypass you and go straight to his teacher. And he goes, "The nice man says that we should get going now. He's gonna look for the mommy." And the teacher just does not even question what mommy this kid is talking about. And we'll look at Dad and go, can you help me corral them, please?
Absolutely.
All right. So you get to the chasm, which is now 11 feet across. Currently, the floating disc is being used for the hospital patients. So either you would have to take away from the hospital patients or find a way to get the children across.
He has his broom of flying, which can fit multiple people.
Yep.
So he's just ferries them over.
So it can hold multiple people, but safely across, with kids involved.
Yeah.
So there are 40 kids, and you have a flying speed of 50 with that. So let's see, 10 feet across, so it's 20. Math is hard. So if you have 1 minute of 50 flying and 2 kids apiece.
That would be 500 feet. Total zipping back and forth because it's 10 rounds per minute.
And then it would be 22 feet, but I'm willing to bring it down.
Yeah. So that's...
So all in all, 220 feet you have to cover.
Yeah, I should be able to manage that.
He does the best he can.
Well, so 500 by 220 is... Wait a second. How many trips? Math is hard, especially when I'm...
So it's 40 feet of movement per trip.
No, it's 22 feet of movement per trip.
20 feet of movement per trip.
And you can bring 2 kids per trip.
Go 500 feet in a minute.
You have 500 feet of movement?
So that would be 25 trips if I'm doing my math right. He should be able to get them all across.
All right. So then this turn,
fast.
You would be
At least
able.
all the children.
You would be able to carry all of the children across, and then the teacher as well. So you would spend your entire turn doing that.
He's going to yell over shoulder, "Avery, hurry up!"
Avery is not there.
Yeah. Pretty shut though.
The buildings are starting to shake dangerously at this point. We are now... Flax, give me a roll to see how well you cut number 2. Jesus. You literally could not do better than the time before, so you've set the standards high.
You've got this.
Please.
It's a natural 1.
That would be it.
Holy shit!
I can't make that up.
I saw it pop up in D&D Beyond.
Oh
I
my
was muted, but
God.
I said that they cut off his head.
No. What do you think would be a flavorful thing? I don't want to. I don't want to get grotesque, but what do you think the what happens? I know what happens. You
He's a
do
tenor now.
a flawless job of cutting off this guy's legs. Perfect. And you're admiring your work when you realize that you also cut off 3 of the doctor's fingers, who was holding the leg steady.
Oh,
Whoops.
Were they the
Doctor
crucial
Strange this
fingers?
dude.
Second PPEG created.
You just Doctor Strange this dude.
You did. And you have now made an enemy out of this doctor.
I mean, of all the things that could have happened, I suppose. Could be worse.
And the guy, the dwarf passes out immediately. The doctor just swears at you, cursing you and your mother and your children and your children's children. And if you have a pet, curse them too. As he is wrapping his own hand. And he's not doing it in a selfish way, like you have to do that before you could help. You know, it's like being in an airplane, put the oxygen mask over yourself before assisting others. And he will order you to get out of his sight. Whether you do that.
Makes sense. Flax is just gonna leave. Or like maybe stand outside and wait for them to be done.
Do you take the original dwarf with you?
Yeah. I guess so.
So you pick up the dwarf and walk outside to an 11-foot chasm in front of you. Do you have the jumping speed to... What's your strength?
19.
Yeah, so you just like, I guess I might as well. You pop him over and pop back. Next up is Thane. You know that Archimedes is working on floors 3 and 4 and will finish that next turn.
I have an idea to get people over the chasm.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, with my very fast speed, can I find a house that is kind of like really rickety close to the chasm that's tall enough?
Unfortunately, no. Because like the residential area is like,
Or a building at all? Any building that's close enough?
here's the hard move that you have to decide with that. All of the buildings that are close enough currently have people in them still. You know, your friends have not, or maybe the school looks evacuated, because you can see the teacher and the kids there. Do you imagine she wouldn't be out? The community center may or may not be evacuated. Same thing for like all the ones nearby. You look down the street, and you see like you guys are focused on this particular block, like you are working on this one square, and you look to the side and like you're the like I think the first one to sort of come to realize this is like every block as far as you can see is in a similar state, and there's city guard attempting to help. And some of them have magical means, some of them don't, but any block that does not have on either side of you, they're starting to funnel towards you. So while, you know, Robbie would be able to finish up, you know, maybe by the time that everything collapses, his residential area, there's other residential areas from the other blocks coming in.
So there's a building nearby the chasm, right? That's kind of like leaning.
Yes, but
Is there a wall that is tall enough to reach all the way across?
none of them would be able to because they're each floor is about 10 feet, and the chasm is 11 feet across right now.
Damn it. There goes my plan.
There are shadowy areas. Like it's daytime, but you see bits of shade, and you think that maybe you can manifest your wings to pop people across with them, but you have to stick to what was I gonna say?
Just doing that.
In the shadows, and you would effectively have 30 feet fly speed, because you're spending that time like running out, grabbing someone, running back to a shaded spot so you could fly them across.
Man, I wish there was a building right by. Ah, I was gonna knock down. I was gonna try and knock down a building to get a bridge over.
Mm-hmm.
If I jump across, is the tavern still there?
The tavern is up and safe.
Is the wall like? Is it? Did it get shaken up? Like, is the tavern like?
No, the tavern.
Never mind.
Anything on the tavern side is very. It's structurally sound, effectively.
So there's no way I can make a bridge.
Not by knocking a building down.
I have no idea what to do. Okay. Well, until we find out something, I'm going to be helping somebody. Well, yeah, let's pause and I'll think of something.
Yeah. I know that Archimedes, you're busy doing stuff, but like, what does it look like when Archimedes is helping?
He's just standing there, and the discs are moving. He's just like,
Sounds good. Tide.
I have a plan to build a bridge, but I can't do it right now. I'm very busy.
What can I help with?
Make sure the building is clear.
Which building?
The one we're in.
Okay. I'm going to make sure this building is clear by the end of it.
If you would like, so here's what you can do. You can essentially go at full speed running around and finish up whatever Archimedes is not able to do, so that Archimedes will have the hospital clear at the end of this round instead of next round.
Okay, I'll do that.
Sounds good. So I'm going to take away that X from him. That is your turn. Tide. What do you do?
Okay, so I was managed to get everybody out, right?
You did. There is a litany of people that Robbie is ferrying over. You know that Thane is running around the hospital. There are people from other blocks coming in your direction, because it seems like you guys have more magic than some of the city guards, and so they're trying to be able to cross by you instead of over by them. And you imagine that if this gets overcrowded, it's going to start getting dangerous, because people might end up falling in by accidentally getting pushed or jostled around. So maybe, so either figuring out a way to do crowd control, building a bridge, or getting people over by jumping them.
I'm going to start with crowd control.
So how do you crowd control?
I'm going to pull out my javelin of lightning and like do one of the like airplane like things like keeping people away from the edge, and like everybody in an orderly fashion, no pushing, no shoving, like fire drill style out of a school.
Nice. You could give me a performance, persuasion, or intimidation check, whichever one.
You shall not pass. That's all I could see.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 11.
All right, so you can tell that pretty much you stopped them from like you stopped like any major falls from this turn, but like they're not listening to you. You were only able to stop that because you were paying attention to it, um, and they're starting to back up a bit. Not back up, but like there's there's like a backup, a blockage sort of going on, and so you kind of forcing them to go to the side over here is it works, and then they kind of like bubble out right here. um it's not on the block that you're working on, it's on the block next to you. And so the hard move that you're going to have to decide for next turn is are you going to have to create a divider to just kind of cut them off so that you're able to at least save who's ever here right now? Or are you going to have to start making a solution to move, yeah, to build another bridge? So that's for you to decide next time. Robbie, you get another 80 kids over. Are you okay with spending your turn doing that and just leaving the 40 adults?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Sounds good.
Kids first, bitches.
All right. We are back to the top at round 4. The chasm is now 13 feet across. The what was I gonna say? A couple of buildings have collapsed on your side of the street. None of them that you were working on, like some of the smaller homes. There is now rubble that is making it essentially difficult terrain for the people on the side of the on the sidewalk. Those that are from the hospital that are not on floating discs, so they're kind of having extra difficulty because they only have like slippers right now, and they're getting across, but it's not, it's just kind of like that sort of anxiety is mounting, and you're realizing how close it is to the I was gonna say this street collapsing. The kids on the other side of the street are shouting for their parents. And Robert, you're trying to go as fast as you can, and you're trying to reason with them, like, don't worry, like I got them, but like there's still that sort of hysteria. The people on the other sides of the block are converging in more and more, and like it's almost as if just as you're sort of like clearing out your block, 2 more for every person you clear are starting to filter in. Some parents are raising their children over their heads to try and like beg those who are carrying people over to take them first, as they're coming over from either side. Dad and Avery, or Dad, you're here, so Avery's out. So what does Dad do?
Okay, so from where he is by the schoolhouse, what's like the closest? What's going on directly around him?
Directly around you, there are a couple of problems that you need to be able to address. You've pretty much cleared out the people and are getting them over, but you either have to find a way to clear out the debris. You have to crowd control. There are bridges that need building. And there's now going to be falling debris in rounds 5 and 6 that you imagine if they hit some of the civilians, they may end up perishing before the buildings collapse anyway. So you can try and find do a sort of canopy thing, clear out debris, crowd control, barrier, bridge. So there's a lot of things that you can do
Or
to
you
help the
can
situation.
get people over.
Yeah.
Couldn't you help with that?
Yeah, because what he's like, I'm trying to think of the other options, and there's only so much he can do, magic wise, and so I think what he's going to default to is just continuing to ferry people over, and like you mentioned, like a barrier type of thing.
You would have to create a barrier so that people
Uh.
don't back up and fall into the chasm prematurely. People will fall into the chasm, let's be real. But it's just
Yeah.
kind of trying to save, like, your characters know, like many people are dying and they will die. And you're just trying to do everything you can. Here's something that might cross Dad's mind as you're looking at some of the people.
Mhm.
And looking at the discs, and then you look at the Avery shirt of kittens. And maybe if you're able to have some sort of thing that can carry more people at once, because your broom can only carry 2 people at a time.
Mhm. I mean,
Do you have an immovable rod?
he does. Yeah.
You think of that as well?
Okay.
Perhaps getting people to harness themselves to that, so that, like, you may not be able to save them right now, but if they collapse in the chasm and they're dangling, you can at least get back to them later.
Okay. He'll position it where the people are, like the dentist and most likely to tumble over, like right up against the edge.
Sounds good. Now, it can hold up to 8,000 pounds of weight.
Right.
It's a lot of people. But
Yeah.
you need to be able to tie them on. Where do you get the rope?
He has rope.
Only 50 feet, though.
True.
Run around and grab a bunch of people's rope that are around.
I mean, he's
I
by
bet
the
average
chasm,
people-
and I'm by the chasm. If he called out and asked for rope, I could very easily give him mine.
You could essentially
Okay.
have 50 people tied to one immovable rod, but you're going to need 10 feet of rope for someone to be able to harness it. And I imagine that, like, people, they can only tie so much to the rod, but you can, like, kind of get a string going that they tie to, so you can sort of, what is that, like the barrel of monkeys?
Mhm.
A little bit. So you would, if you need 10, you would need essentially 500 feet of rope, to be able to have that amount of people harness themselves to the immovable rod.
Well, he's aware there's only so much he can do. That's a lot of rope.
Mm-hmm.
But hello, Allie. He is going to call for help from Robbie. Trying to think where else could be like a rope, like substance, like a hose or something like that, or sorry, she bit me.
You could give me an intelligence check.
The rope store.
Rope store. I don't know what's around. That's the thing. That is a 19.
Any of your adventuring buddies, you know that, like, you would just have to collect the rope and you give them, they have to harness themselves. You don't have the time to harness each and every one of them, so you just got to grab the rope and cut it and throw it at them. Your adventuring buddies, probably the tavern has some of those supplies. You imagine that the weapon store might have some, because, like, there's, like, usually basic adventuring gear in there as well. So you can spend a minute flying around, gathering various rope and cutting it so that people can tie themselves to your immovable rod. Do you know if the party has another immovable rod?
Thane has one.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
As he's making his round, he'll also, like, zooming by on the broom, call up to Thane that he needs the movable rod.
Sounds good. So you could spend next turn doing that as well. And so that'll be effectively crowd controlling for this round, so that that's distracting people. So you've solved it for this round, and if you do it next round, you solve crowd control for next round, because people are sort of distracted trying to get themselves. That's essentially 50 people on each side that you're handling with that. Avery, kitten time.
Yeah, he's only going to spend like a quarter of this round looking for that cat, and then he is going to go help with the human beings because they're more important.
Wow.
So,
wow.
the kittens can be bottle fed. You can't really replace the human life with a cat. Sorry. Not in this. Don't look at me like that, Kavasir. You know what I mean. I would take a bullet for you. Don't stare at me like that.
Our cat is staring at
Red
them in
people?
betrayal.
He really is. But, like, if he has the choice between potentially saving, like, 10 people by getting them to the other side and finding one cat, he's gonna save the 10 people. But I will make a check for the cat first, real quick.
Well, here's the thing. You are currently far away. If you were to... It's either you go back
How far would I have gone from the school?
I mean, bear in mind, this is only a minute, so think about if you're running from the front of one building to another, that's still, like, probably like 10, 15 seconds, and then you went to the backyard, and then you went, like, a little ways over. So I'm being sort of, like, quote-unquote generous by letting you be able to, like, move back and still do stuff. So you would either spend your time looking for the cat now, or getting back and helping people.
Nope, I'm gonna go help people.
Sounds good. You get back, you see debris. You see Dad currently getting a bunch of rope to affix to an immovable rod. You see
So I've got
flax.
100 feet of rope to add to that I'll do. Because I've got 50 hempen and 50 silk, so...
Nice. You see...
Where's your shirt?
Oh my god. You see City Guard, a couple blocks, a couple buildings over on the other block, currently trying to ferry people across over. Like they found a support beam that they just ripped off together, and they have people like very steadily walking over, and one guard is an Aarakocra. So he's like, kind of like, parents with a toddler walking them over the beam.
Okay. I'm going to put the kitten in my pocket for now so I don't drop it. And so what I want to do for this is I'm going to drop Expeditious Retreat on myself. And I am going to instead cast Jump, which lasts for a minute and triples my jump distance.
Nice.
I did the math. I can carry up to 200 pounds. It's 195, but give the 200. So I can take, like, a person or two children, and I'm just going to start run jumping people across, basically.
Sounds good.
When I get to the first time I do that, I'm going to give that person the kitten so it doesn't get squished.
Okay.
Here you go.
So you can either start run jumping the rest of the hospital patients, the ones that are able to walk across, but like that would essentially free up the Tensor's floating disc for people that are like moving over. Like Dad crowd controlled, but there's still people making their way. So you can help the hospital patients over. So the tensor's floating disc could be the used for the people coming over from the east side of the block, or you can start ferrying people over from the west side of the block, or you can ferry Robbie's remaining adults over.
I think I'll help with Robert's remaining adults. That way he gets his section done a lot faster, and then he can start helping because wings are a lot more useful than run jumping.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna help free him up as fast as possible.
All right.
Isn't all that fast, but
how far can you jump?
so I can jump 13 feet, but with that I can jump 36. So I can just run jump.
39.
39.
Well, it's...
I can do math.
Right.
I have to run 10 feet, and then if I run 10 straight feet, I can jump. So I can run back and forth. See, 30-foot movement speed, which means I can do a jump in both directions once per turn. So I can get 10 people across.
Sounds
it's not
good.
much, but it's something.
Nope. That'll help them. We'll say you'll help it, so Robbie will be able to use part of his turn doing something different as well. Flax. At the end, you see the doctor, fireman carrying this other dwarf across, and he does not look to be in the shape to be able to jump across himself, much less so with the dwarf. You see other people who are also in need of help. You also see that once people are like standing on the other side, it's starting to get a little backed up on this side. They don't really know where to go. And you're probably going to have to start getting them to move out of the way to make room for the people that are trying to get across.
I guess first step would be to get the doctor and the other buddy across. So I guess he's just gonna run up and try to grab them and run.
Yeah. Give me a contested grapple check against the doctor. He gives you the dwarf, no problem.
How do I do that?
You're gonna roll a contested acrobatics or athletics check.
That would be a 7.
He pulls back from you. Do not touch me.
Jump
Leave him
across
for
the stuff
dead.
then, bitch.
I mean, how's you said he's carrying the other gnome, right?
I imagine you grab the dwarf first, popped over,
Okay.
popped back to try and grab him.
Okay.
And when
so
you
then
grab
the
him, he
dwarf's
pulls
over.
back.
I guess I'm gonna transition to trying to, crowd control. Try to clear area to get people over.
Sounds good. So you jump back to the safe side of the street. Where do you direct people to go?
I guess I was gonna say towards the flying. Is the flying disc still going? And
Sorry, I thought so. There's crowd control that can be done on the safe side of the street to make room for the people that are trying to get to the safe side of the street. Or there's crowd control. The crowd seems to be controlled for now on the opposite side.
okay.
But there's still people that need jumping over.
Do the buildings are the buildings on the good side safe enough to usher people into?
They are, yes.
Okay, then I'll start ushering people into.
Roll me a persuasion or intimidation check and tell me how Flax is because Flax is not a talkative person. You know, so how does Flax try and get people to move into the buildings while their loved ones are on the other side?
+0 for both, but a 16. There's not really much, like, he's just kind of he's saying, like, you can't help any of them if you're standing in the middle of the way for them to get over. Like, if you're not gonna help, then move.
Sounds good. You kind of like shoo them off. If you're not gonna help, get out of the way. Move. Come on. This little gnome guy that they don't even realize is there, but once Flax starts, raising their voice, they look down and jump and nod and will start shuffling away. Next up, Thane. You have cleared the hospital.
I'm gonna look at Archimedes and be like, "How do you plan on making a bridge?"
You'll see.
How can I help?
Go ahead.
Make sure that no one is standing within a 40-foot sphere.
Oh, Jesus. And I'm going to run outside and go and make sure people aren't near where the chaos is about to hit.
Archimedes, can you describe above table so I can kind of help Thane with this?
Yeah. So hear me out. What if I cast Fireball? But instead of fire, it's cold. And makes like a 40-foot ice bridge.
I mean, I love it. I'm willing. Here's the thing. Like, it's cold damage, so it's like making a instantaneous blizzard. So like, oh, go ahead.
I had a better idea. You said the hospital was clear, right?
It was, yeah.
Knock down the hospital. Make that into a bridge.
That was what I thought the plan was, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I thought
That's
it was
what
too.
I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, you're all wrong.
Also, you have 5 of the floating discs, right?
You could move your
Yes.
floating discs to.
They're 3 feet across. Could you just make a temporary bridge out of that and have people run across them instead of ferry across?
Yeah, but
That-
if too many people start getting on them, because they can only
Plus-
hold I think 300 pounds.
500.
500, yeah. So it'd have to be like a 1 person per disc at a time as they moved. But
Yeah. Good luck getting panic people to
Yeah.
go in an orderly fashion.
it's an
So
excellent point.
here's
I vote we...
here's something that above table we could try and make happen. I would say that I don't think that cold damage would work because, like I said, it's a cold damage fireball is like making an insta blizzard. It doesn't really conjure ice that would last long. But if you wanted to have your tensor's floating disc kind of lined up, and you use force damage to blow the wall of the hospital down, you can and have a bridge kind of in the tensor's floating disc, keep it from crumbling in the middle. You can do that, but you would have to focus the party's efforts on crowd control, because if you do that, all hell will break loose. But also, if you successfully control the crowd, you would be able to save a significant more number of people. It's just a big risk, big reward sort of thing.
That's a lot less fun.
Sorry.
I thought we were knocking down the whole building. I was like, I'm ready.
Well, to see, I feel like you're thinking like cartoon physics, like it's just gonna go into a solid wall across and not just
Yeah.
crumble because
It
it's more
100% is
That's
cartoon
very
true.
physics.
Yeah. I'm really trusting the structure of our walls in this universe right now. We should also put immovable rods underneath there.
wall.
The immovable rods are currently holding people up that are gonna be
Oh,
tied
true.
to it when the ground
Yeah.
falls under them.
Yeah, those are the people that you're gonna get on a second sweep.
True.
And Dad is going to use a second one this turn. Too.
Alright, I'll position my discs under collapsing wall.
So Archimedes, you're gonna have to wait for that one, so we'll have that be the last thing. Then you run outside with the news that... Oh wait, Robbie didn't get a turn last time.
I figured I was just kind of ferrying people and then dropping off my rope.
Okay. Um, so then this is round 5. Right? Or we... I lost track.
This is
Yeah.
round
This is round 5.
5.
I
Yeah.
thought it was, oh, then
Okay,
never mind.
right,
I was
because
So this
wrong.
is when debris is gonna fall.
Yep. Next round. Oh, right, debris is gonna fall. Especially from the hospital. As a whole wall falls. But it's okay. So that Avery Flack. So Thane, Tide, and Robbie. The 3 of you can work on crowd control. If you want to spend that, and I will let you roll with double advantage, or like one person to roll with double advantage, and to see if it will, because it's going to be a DC 22 check, either intimidation, persuasion, or performance that you would have to beat for this. But I would like to know how each party member is helping with that.
Can we figure out who rolls first?
My best is a +3 to persuasion.
I have a +6 to performance.
So do I.
All right,
Who
it's
do
not
you-
going to be me rolling then.
You want to roll it?
No, I've been rolling like shit all day.
You're talking to the guy who hasn't rolled above a 10 in like 3 sessions.
Shit.
I'll do it. It's at double advantage, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Double secret advantage.
That's 3 chances I get.
Mm-hmm.
Or you want 3 chances?
But
Or you want flip a coin?
You're talking to me?
Do it.
Yeah. You want flip a coin?
Oh! Yeah, flip a coin.
Where's a coin?
Roll a
I don't have a
D2.
coin. Yeah.
Heads or tails, Tide?
Tails.
Thane, you roll.
Oh, yes.
all right. So
Performance.
Robbie, Thane, or Robert, Thane, and Tide. What are each of you doing to crowd control?
I will continue to use Sven's voice to inform the people that they must move in an orderly fashion in order to fucking survive this shit.
Nice. Tide.
And that is a
Alright.
quote.
What do you do?
Still using my javelin as like a guide to keep people away from the edge.
Sounds good. Thane.
Before I ran out, I'm going to change into a very, like, high-ranking guards look
Mm-hmm.
with mask of many faces and be like, if you, we are all citizens here. We are all trying to do our best. Let's do this in an order.
All right. Do that roll.
I get to roll it 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First one, 17. Second one, natural fucking 20.
Yes.
And he disappears.
Let's see what the third one was. I just want to know. Please be a 1. Oh, it's a 17 again. Okay. I'll take a 26.
I just love how you. What was that pressure like, Kip?
I hate you all.
You did great.
Flipping a coin.
I at least stood up. I looked at my mic. I said, "Fuck you. Let's go."
I love that. Party. Let's end. Well, we'll finish round 6 next week, but let's end on a high note. Tell me what it looks like as Archimedes blows the wall and people start walking across. How in this moment does it feel like a win, even though you know that in less than a minute there's going to be a measurable death in this city?
We did get a sack full of kittens.
We got a sack full of kittens.
Mm.
They're gonna need there's gonna be a little bit less death at the very least. We're able to help some people, so yay.
And there's a very orderly fashion of you watch as the hospital patients who were previously like stumbling over stuff are now able to move quickly over the bridge created, evading the debris that would have fallen upon them. Some people from the the east and the west fall unconscious from the falling debris as they are making their way onto your bridge. But you are able to save a good number from the other blocks, and you watch as the city guards start waving you down, looking like they're trying to figure out you know what's the course of the action going to be, because they don't want to overwhelm you. So it's pretty much like a silent coordination that they're trying to figure out here, both in figuring what to do with whatever time they have left, because you know that they're not going to get across when there's civilians on this side, and they're okay with that. But that is where we're going to end off today, and we'll see how this pans out next week. Good job, everybody.
Woo. Wow.
I
And
got
to think we
tense.
assassinated a city guard last night.
What?
Rip.
What happened?
We killed somebody last night.
we just offed somebody last night, and now we're like saving a
Everything
bunch of
in
people.
balance. All right, everything in balance.
You know what? This is a lot of lives in exchange for one. I feel like we're making up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we get lucky and the 3 people we're supposed to kill die.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it, if all 4 of them went down like this?
Or maybe they will. Wink, wonk, wink, wonk.
We break from it, we go find him, and we just toss him in the crevasse.
Oh no, they died in the earthquake. What a pity.
I'm rolling a d20. If I roll a 20, they die.
Oh my god.
11, they don't
Damn
die.
it!
I'm sorry.
Maybe
I
we
only
were
get
nothing to go
120.
guys?
You have no power here.
I don't know.
We're
I just
depending
said
on
that.
you.
I rolled a 1. Uh-oh.
That kid is never gonna forgive me, but, you know. It's a cat.
Be alright.
Ill deal.
I'm gonna stop streaming now. But like I'll still hang around after. But thank you, chat, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.